Hello everybody and welcome to our next tutorial here. This is our second tutorial and today we are going to be exploring how to make a simple kitchen layout very similar to this one that we have on our page here. Now we're not going to get into the 3D views too much because I just want to do this where we place the cabinets and we get everything aligned and then we can get an actual list so you can go to the website and you can actually order and put these items into your shopping cart. You're probably looking at what size cabinet do I need? Well, this is how we're going to find out. I have this exact layout right here that we already have on that page, on the design page. If you notice this, there you go. You can see how I have it all spruced up. I got crown molding, I got backsplash, I got countertops, I got appliances and everything like that. So let's get into it. First thing I'm going to do is delete all my hard work. Yeah, I know. There we go. And delete that camera view. I guess we can probably leave it. Doesn't matter. All right, so there it is. All of my hard work is done. I even deleted the room dividers. So in the previous tutorial, I had room dividers. We'll add those back in here in a little bit, or we can do it now, I guess. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. And let's just do that. So as we talked about before, you got to have a room divider to make sure you can double click on the floor plan, and then you can change it to make sure it's a kitchen. That is how you can change the ceiling height. You double click on this and you go to structure and finished ceiling height, so 107.625. And that's basically what it is from the top of the finished floor to the bottom of the ceiling. And that's fine because they're going to say this is a 108-inch ceiling height. So that's your exact measurement, then input that in there. Good to go. All right, moving on. Now what we're going to do is let's get started. Let's get the corners done, and then let's also do the tall finished end, or the tall refrigerator enclosure. As we see in this picture, let's go back here. We're going to mimic this guy right here. So let's start in the corner, and then we'll put our sinks, and we're going to center that on the window, and then we're going to kind of go from there back and forth. All right. First thing you want to do is make sure you have our catalog downloaded. I'm going to assume that you do because we already went through that in the last tutorial. Kitchen base cabinets, we're going to go with a corner because obviously we're going into a corner. B90. Any of these base corner cabinets would work, but I'm going to use a base 90 because that's what I used in my other tutorial. Perfect. Now you go through here and we're going to put our sink cabinet next to it because we want to have the sink roughly centered on that window. And everybody looks at it and they say, well, what size should my sink cabinet be? It's always 36 inches. And on a modern cabinet, I like to use the two-door base. Why do I like to use a two-door base? Because it just has a little bit more of a modern look. More full height doors and stuff. I just think it looks nicer. All right, centering the object. I'm going to center it on the window right there. And then let's just make sure that this is not overlapping. So there we go. Now, one thing to remember here is let's make sure our defaults are all set up. One thing I did not check. Yeah, they're all set up just fine. Okay. So the idea is to make sure that your defaults are set up on 1/4-inch increments. We talked about that in our last tutorial as well. So I'm not going to get into that here. All right, so there we go. This sink is now centered on that window. You see here? Nice and centered. And this guy right here is 36 by 36. Okay, great. So we didn't have to change it. Now, technically, our cabinets are fully custom, so you can change this. Let's just say that sink needed to be centered and it was intruding into the base 90 a little bit. You can easily push that over. And that base 90 is now 34.5 tall, 34.25 wide, and the depth is going to be 36. That's fine. They don't have to be perfectly sized. Our base 90 cabinets are you can change the width and the depth. Okay, we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to Control Z and get back over here, and we got our nice 36-inch base 90 and a nice 36-inch two-door sink cabinet. Okay, let's look at it in our 3D mode here. Great. Okay, let's do the uppers now. So the upper on the existing plan, I had a blind corner wall cabinet and then another single wall cabinet sticking out from the front. So let's go through here, and just like as it is on our website, let's go to the wall cabinets and go to corner. Double click on corner, and you're going to see that we have the blind corner cabinets as needed. I'm going to put the blind corner going right there. Notice how it just locked it into place. Perfect. Again, you can do this in perspective view if you want. That's completely fine. I'm not really used to doing that, so I like doing it from a top view in 3D. Again, I'll show you. I'll see if I can do some of this how most people will. There we go. All right, so when you go here on the wall one door, there is actually a 3-inch wide filler sticking out from the face of that blind corner cabinet. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, right there. You can see this nice little filler sticking out from the face. So it's nice, it's in there, it's good to go. Let's just get the measurement just to be on target here. Okay. And select this cabinet and then change that to make sure it's exactly 3 inches. Check it in 3D. It looks good. We got a nice seam right there. We're good to go. Now, why do we have a 3-inch filler on that blind corner cabinet? Because it's a lot easier to install if it's part of the corner cabinet. Trying to do 2 fillers that are supported on the sides of cabinets, no bueno. It's not good. All right, so double click on your wall cabinet right here. Just make sure it's not into the casing. We're going to need a finished in panel on the side here. Notice we don't want to have this showing when you're at your kitchen sink. So let's bring that back just a little bit. You can see the casing is outlined right there. Let's take that back just a little bit more. There we go. Perfect. Next thing we're going to do is grab a finished in panel. Just go to wall cabinets and then collapse the standard and go to finished in panels. And WFEHM, H means horizontal. The other one is a VM, which means vertical. You could run these right into the casing if you wanted to, but I always like to leave a little extra space right there. All right. Now, some other cool things you can do here, and I know Chief Architect goes over this better than I can, but if you use the select point, you get this. If you right-click on it, you should be able to reflect this around another object. Did that work? I think it did. Yeah, it did. Okay. One thing we want to do though is so right-click on it, say copy and paste in place. Right-click on it again, and then let's just reflect it around this object. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Good job, Chief Architect. You guys did it. Same thing here. Let's get this thing reflected. So we're gonna right-click. We're gonna say copy and paste in place, and then let's just reflect it. I know this isn't exactly how it is on my other plan. Oh, that's so cool. Awesome. Neat. My job's so much easier now. Okay, so that's what we did. So yeah, by doing that little thing, we could really get this thing moving a lot quicker. Okay, let's move on. So we're gonna leave a 24-inch space between the base cabinet and here. Let's go back and look at our plan right here. We got a drawer. What is that? A drawer dishwasher. And then we got a 1 drawer, 1 door cabinet on the base over there. All right. So let's go back to the base cabinets and take a 1 door, 1 drawer base cabinet. Let's see right here. Oh yeah. Again, I think it's easier if we have it with 24 inches. So let's just try to draw our gap. Ugh, that's messy. Can I get that? It just wants to give me all those dimensions. That's not good. All right, so here's another way to do it. Get an elevation view right here. That's what this guy is up here. Get an elevation view of that wall. Now let's go back through, grab our measurement tool, and it still does that. That is just, oh, there we go. Had to go down farther. Take this and say 24. Perfect. Delete that one. You can leave that 24 inches in there. You can always look at it on your elevation view when you're doing it again, and it's a lot easier to work with. I like to leave about 5 inches from the end of the wall. If let's say this wall went back that way, I'd leave about 5 inches from the corner to the starting of the cabinet. It doesn't really matter too much in this case because this wall, we're assuming, just keeps going this way. No problem. All right, go back here, grab a finished in panel on the base. So base, horizontal, finished in panel. Now, one thing you're going to probably notice here is that all of these in panels, all right, there we go. And I just want to put it on the side, right there. All of these finished in panels can go right onto the side of the cabinet. They're already held up by 4 inches off the floor. So if you look at it, that's a nice thing because now our base molding goes into the side right there. And for some reason, the texture doesn't look right on that, but we'll talk about that later. Okay, so one thing we can do here is, obviously this is not right because in our view here, we have a 2-door wall cabinet. So let's go through and let's just delete that guy. And let's go up here and find our two-door wall cabinet, W2DM. Have you ever looked at our nomenclature and you're wondering about what it is? W means wall, and then 2D means two doors, and then M means modern. It's how we differentiate it in our office so that you and I, and we're all on the same page, because we have two different lines. We have Barker cabinets and BarkerModern. There we go. Let's see if we can do that reflect thing. Copy and paste in place, and then we're going to reflect on this object. Didn't work. Whatever. Yeah, sorry. Let's try something new. All right. I did that. Just copy, Control-C, and then Control-V. Perfect. Okay, cool. So that's our wall cabinets right there. All these wall cabinets are now done. They're going to be centered on the sink, or off to the side of the sink. And then we have this guy down here. Let's fix this real quick, and this is a good little caveat for us to make sure that we can see the textures properly. For some reason, that's pulling an old texture that I had that I discontinued. For some reason, it's still in the system, probably in the cache somewhere. But I'm going to show you how to make it so that it does not do that anymore. And if you need to fix it on your side, you'll know how to do it. Go over to our door laminate color/finish. Grab the City Oak horizontal, and then use your spray bar. Boom, boom. Now this is also how you can change the color of any cabinet. Say you wanted to make it a carbone vertical grain. Look at this. You just go right through. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. It's fun, right? You can change any of the colors of the faces of the cabinets that you want. For this example, I'm going to stay on City Oak horizontal grain because it's nice and that's the color we want. All right. We'll get into that later. Next thing to do, let's go look at the tall refrigerator enclosure. Now you might be thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to do that? That looks pretty hard. It might be a little difficult, but let's try to get in here. Go over here and open it up. I have everything already laid out for you. Go to Tall, Kitchen, Tall, and then go to Refrigerator Enclosure. Notice that there's two options in there. You got tall finished in, vertical grain. Now you can use a horizontal grain if you want to, but on these tall end panels, we can't cut horizontal grain past 80 inches. It just doesn't come to us at that size. The panels are 80 inches wide. So we got to be careful. We can't sell you something that's not made like that. So the depth's already done at 26.5 or 26.8125, and then we put a wall two-door cabinet, which is probably going to be a 36-inch wide. There it is, two-door wall cabinet. And then if you just had this, and there was going to be other base cabinets, you could actually just take this tall finished in panel, and then put it onto the other side if you wanted to. But in this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to continue this and put another a two-door wall cabinet and then a one-drawer base cabinet. I just noticed this is a flip-up cabinet, so I will add a flip-up cabinet door or cabinet in there real quick. Let's delete that. You can do whatever you want over the top of it. Let's use the Aventos because it's cool. It's a lot of fun. Let's go here, double-click on this. Let's just make the width 36. Oh, and the depth, make that 26. All of our tall cabinets are going to be 26 inches in depth. And most people look at that and say, why would you want a 26-inch depth tall cabinet? That's because a 26-inch depth tall cabinet is enough to the point where, say, this tall stack that is going to be here, this countertop can run into the side of the end panel there, and it's not going to have this little nub sticking out. Having the little nub sticking out is not good at all because it looks odd, and it's more of a thing that standard cabinet makers have to deal with because they don't make their cabinets deeper than 24. We can make our cabinets any depth we want. We are fully custom, so that's why we do that. It's just a more professional way of doing it. It does take a little bit extra material because you can't get two rips of 24 out of a 48-inch wide piece of plywood. But again, that's a discussion for another time. We have so many different depths and stuff going on that we can make it work. Okay, so that's your tall enclosure. So technically, if we were going to do this, let's go right to there. If you look at this in 3D, that would be our enclosure. So it's just one wall cabinet and then two tall finished in panels. All right, moving on. Let's get this thing over here and just drag this over here somewhere. It doesn't really matter where it is. Now let's go back to our tall cabinets, and we're going to do this appliance stack right here. You might be thinking, oh, I don't know what size my appliances are going to be. I've already done a few of these for you. So let's do this. if you notice right here, you have the wall appliance case, which is just our generic standard appliance case with no door on it. It's just a cabinet with no door. Okay, easy. I also have a couple of other ones here that I've done in the past. So these are Wolf appliances. They have a steam oven, and then they also have another one that's going to be a convection steam oven, and then a single oven. One is bigger than the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with pulling these guys out and just put them on the wall somewhere. It doesn't really matter where they are. I even have the actual appliance in there, so you don't have to modify it. I'll try to add more of these in there if everybody likes it. So comment in the comment box down below if you guys like having the cabinets already sized and ready to go for the actual model, the model number that's right here. Then hey, we can do that. As you guys send them in, we can get in there and we can really design it better so that all of these cabinets are available. Notice if you go up here to kitchen and you go to tall and we go to appliance cases. Now this is the same category we're in here, by the way. Kitchen, tall, appliance cases. Notice that the website's set up the exact same way that the catalog is set up. And if you scroll down here, you can see all these different tutorials that I put together for past customers. You got stuff from Viking, lots of those things going on there. And the same thing works over on Barker cabinets. All right, so go to Barker cabinets and go to tall appliance cases. Again, go scroll down to the bottom. You can see all the ones that customers have asked me about in the past. And what I'm using is these ones right here. This is a Wolf, the two that I already did, and the sizes are down here at the bottom. I've already taken the guesswork out of it. Okay, width's always 30. We kind of move through there. So that's the size, 29 by 30, and this one right here is 19 1/4 by 30. And that looks pretty familiar. 30 by 29, and then 30 by 19 1/4. Again, it's all dialed in. All right, let's move this thing over here just a little bit and move this guy over here just a little bit. That's great. Let's go back and get a base cabinet because we need something to sit these things on top of. Let's go to standard and let's go to base 1DRM. The nice thing is I already did this, so they're actually all right in the right elevation. So when you pull them out of the catalog, you can actually just stack these guys right up on top of each other. Okay, same thing on there. Let's close base and get back over to the wall because we're going to stack a wall two-door cabinet on top of that. Notice there's not one in here right now. So let's go over here and go back into the wall cabinets, grab a standard two-door wall cabinet. I should probably put that on there. That'd be nice. It'd be a little bit easier for everybody if I just put all these things in there so you guys could just drag and drop and make my tutorial a little bit less long too. We're already at 17 minutes. I feel like we just got into this. Double click on this, make it 26 inches because our tall stacks are 26 inches. Now what we can do is go there. Now, if we go over here, then we have a nice little opening right there. Let's take this thing and let's just go center or Control G. Take this, right click. Again, I should probably learn the hotkeys. All right. Go down here, right click, and center object on the one above it. I don't know why that's not working. Okay. Yeah, a little glitchy. There we go. Okay, cool. So that's it. 3D view. Again, we're right there. Go to the top view if you want to get that one drawer base cabinet back on the wall. For some reason, it didn't go there. And then let's also make sure that that's 26 inches, and it's not. It needs to be 26. And that's the nice thing about 3D is that you can really tell what's wrong and what's right. So there. Technically, right now, we have 3 or 4 cabinets stacked on top of each other. We have a one-drawer base cabinet, we have a wall appliance case, another wall appliance case, and then a two-door wall cabinet. These are just like Legos. You can actually take these and swap them around however you want. No problem. Okay, let's go back to our elevation view, grab that tall end panel, and just toss it over onto the side of the cabinet. Notice it just snaps into place. All right, back over here. Going back up here, and let's go back and see our picture. All right, so now what we got to do is we're going to do this hood enclosure piece, this hood enclosure cabinet. All right, let's get that tall. Let's start off with the actual range. That we can do. Now, if you go to BarkerModern, I put 3D appliances. They're probably going to yell at me about this because I took some of the stuff off of Wolf's website. But technically, you know, if they want to complain about it, I mean, I'm kind of selling their product here for them. So I did that, grabbed that. That's 30 inches. You just leave 30 inches between two cabinets. That's not a problem. There's other ones here. I got the dishwasher drawer. I got a big Sub-Zero. Let's toss that in here too. You're trying to place the same position. Yes. Okay. And then you can adjust your opening. So see your reef specs to see how wide that opening or tall that opening needs to be. And in this case, I think I'm almost right on top of it, right there. Great. That's a Sub-Zero, by the way. All right. There also might need to be a filler or something like that above it, but again, I'm not. We'll talk about that. You guys can send a question or go to the tall enclosure page, and then we have tutorials that'll show you how to do all that. All right. All right, let's go back over here. Kitchen, base. Let's grab a one-door base cabinet or whatever we want to put in there. Doesn't really matter. Say yes. It's going to overlap the cabinets. It's warning you, saying, look, you got a cabinet inside of another cabinet. It's not physically possible. Unless you can create black holes or something. Put it in another dimension. All right, you got the door on this thing. If you want to have it hinged the other side, all you got to do is go over here instead of door left, go to door right. Say okay. Now your perspective view looks great. All right, pretty cool. Back to our elevation view right here. Let's get a, did I leave that one? Did I do the hood? I did, nice. All right, now you can put the hood wherever you want. Typically a hood itself, like this wolf hood, is gonna be roughly, we need to have it centered, obviously. So right click on that, let's center it on the one down below. Good. Sticky. All right, so from finished floor to bottom, they're gonna want this to be as close to the thing as possible. I swear, sometimes it looks like they just want you to, hey, put it at 48 inches. Yeah, because it's gonna suck up all the stuff really good, and then that's gonna be give them the best, rating or something, CFM rating or something like that. That's ridiculous. I'd hit my head on that, and it'd just be really annoying if it's right in your face. So what I usually do, you can go anything you want. Look at the specs and try to figure out where you want it. Just for this tutorial, though, I'm going to put it right at 72. And I know that's probably a little high. Maybe let's take it down to 66. That's fine. Perfect. All right, moving on. Let's go to kitchen. Let's get a tall, let's go to kitchen, and then let's go to appliance cases. I'm in base. Go to appliance cases. There we go. And you have a two-door vented micro hood. Now there's probably going to be a vent behind it at some point, and you're going to want to have that up above it. Now other ways to do it too is to use a flip-up cabinet. I think flip-up works better if the cabinet is wider than it is tall. Okay, so you can actually go back over here and use a flip-up cabinet. You just have to cut through the shelves, which is not a big deal, but it's up to you. Let's use the Aventos flip-up cabinet. The other one, the only other difference is that the Aventos cabinet has the stay-up lifts already on it, and it keeps the door up in the up position. All right, let's take this thing down. I think that's about right. Yep, drag this and drop it down. It should snap to the point. And the width of this is 36. Let's center this guy on the hood. Does not want me to center it. Now, if that's 36, we're going to make the width of this cabinet 37.50. You might be thinking, why would you make the top cabinet wider than the hood itself? Well, there's a reason, because we're going to have to take this cabinet over here. Now, something tells me that this thing's held off the wall. I don't know why it does that. I just pulled it out of the cabinet and put it on the wall. Yeah, there we go. Let's pull this cabinet over. Great. If you look at this in 3D, you can see right here, we got the side of the cabinet, and that's not going to be good. You need to have a finished-in panel. So technically, we need to go back over here. We need to close this up. We need to get another finished-in panel because we got the exposed side. And that put it there in a weird area. So let's go back over here and see if we can pull it out this way. There we go. and here. We're going to need 2 of them. There we go. That's just not on center totally. All right, so what I'm going to do here is just grab these things over, and then I'm going to see if I can get this thing centered. Let's go center it on this guy. There we go. That worked. So for some reason I couldn't center it on the hood. I had to center it on the range, so we'll just do that. Not a problem. Again there, everything's clicked and snapped into points. That's great. I'm going to Control C, and then I'm going to Control V and put it right here, and it's going to give me another warning probably, which it didn't. But the idea is to make it so it shrinks and fits into this little opening. I don't know why it did that with the door. Oh, that's because it was a blind corner. My bad. Okay, here we go. Wall standard, one door right there. See how fast we can do this. Yes, just do that and then shrink it down so it's smaller, and then you can expand it. I mean, there's other ways to do this, of course, but I'm more used to doing it this way. Again, this door needs to be hinged on the other side, so go to this and go door right. Say OK. There we go. Now let's see what it looks like in 3D to make sure it all looks good. We got our finished in panel on the side. You can't see the side there. That's great. Actually, it looks pretty good. We just finished it, so that's pretty much the entire layout right there. So the next tutorial that we're going to do is the tutorial on doing the millwork, moldings, and stuff like that. And then the last tutorial we're going to do is going to be on doing the actual 3D work. And that's the most fun, because doing the millwork and all this other stuff can really make the thing look a lot nicer and just make it kind of, just perfect. So let's do this little bonus here. I did throw in that dishwasher drawer. Let's see if we can get that in there. Nice. Okay, it worked pretty good. So I put this one in here because for some reason it wanted you to put it into a cabinet, which doesn't make any sense. And some of these catalogs that they have, like if we go through here and look at some of these manufacturer catalogs, I mean, look at all this stuff. They got everything from Miele, they got GE, got Kohler, all this other stuff. Some of them work really well, and some of them just simply do not. Like they have this a wall. For example, if you go to what is it, Wolf, and they have a beautiful collection of 3D drawings. I go in here and I tried to add these wall ovens to a wall appliance case, like in a wall cabinet that you'd hang on the wall, and they're just like, no, it needs to go into a base cabinet or it needs to go into a full height cabinet. And I mean, I see what they're doing with that, because they're probably not used to the way we do it, which is we stack these different units on top of each other. But that makes them, it just makes it less versatile. So they should really, hopefully, one day, maybe they can take that off. Again, probably won't. All right, so that's pretty much it right there. So we have our kitchen layout done. Now, the little bonus thing here for you, this is all good to go. Make sure you save it. Go to File, Save. Save as if you want. Say it's number 3. And I'm going to go over here. Last thing we can do, go to Tools, and then go to Schedules and Cabinet Schedule. And drag and drop that right there. Now look at this. You got a nice list of everything you need to order on the website. So you go down here, base 1 door, 1 drawer. It even tells you a little description of the thing. You then go over here, base 1 door, 1 DM, 1 door base cabinet. And that's kind of how you do it. The first letter tells you if it's in the base cabinets or if it's in the tall cabinets, TFEHM. That's, tall. So for example, you go here and go kitchen, tall. And then you look for your end panels. Right there. And you'd order that TFE VM right there, this guy. You keep working your way down the list until you're done. Essentially, you could go through here, even write your cost per cabinet in there and total it up, or just use a shopping cart, which would be a heck of a lot easier. And that's the idea. Also, while you're doing this and you're doing a layout similar to this, you can go through here and you can see the notes that I just told you about. So, for example, here's your range opening. Make sure that that's 30 to 36 inches. Okay. Your opening between 2 cabinets is simply 24 inches for your dishwasher. That's it. Toe skin underneath, and we'll do that in the next tutorial. Finishing panels on the sides of the cabinets as you need it. But right now, the way we have it, this is an actual functional kitchen. You could do this. You could put countertops on this, and the millwork and the molding is kind of like you'd see like if somebody buys a car. They put the nice wheels on it and stuff like that. It just spruces it up. So technically, this is the least expensive kitchen you could get that would be functional and it would be pretty. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to add some moldings onto it and stuff like that on the next tutorial, we'll show you how to do it. Have a good day, guys. Thank you very much.